Batman Incorporated number 3, written by Grant Morrison, art by Chris Burnham. Last issue was just kind of the life and times of Talia al Ghul, so it doesn't really flow that much into this one. But this one picks up with a teacher coming into Gotham Central Station and being immediately abducted, and we see that she is replaced by someone who's a member of Leviathan. And the whole first 3 pages are just saying how Leviathan has infiltrated every layer of Gotham, a la Batman Begins, and is teaching their, fascist ideology, however you want to call it, into all of the kids. So the teacher is strong-arming the kids, and then when the teacher's called out by some parents, the principal who just started there reports it to the police, and a police officer who just started there shreds the files and also plants evidence on the parents, and the parents are sent to jail because of a judge who just started there and a district attorney who just started there. A lot of people just started, but regardless, they are everywhere in Gotham apparently. So we get away from that, and we go to a bar where a woman is singing, and we meet a gangster in there named Matches Malone, who is from DC lore, from pre-New 52, and is just... It's Bruce Wayne. It's literally just Batman, but he's taking on a gangster appeal as Matches Malone, and he's meeting up with a guy named Small Fry, who apparently just goes as Fry now. He looks like he's 10, but he's here at this bar. And they're like, hey, Matches, I thought you were dead. And he's like, nope, I actually came here because I want a lot of information on Leviathan, and I want to know what you know. And honestly, it looks like he doesn't know anything about Leviathan, or he's not willing to share. But regardless, as Matches is looking around the bar, he sees the singer up on stage is getting strong-armed by these 2 big guys, and he's like, mess around with a dame, huh? Well, we'll see how Matches feels about that. And he goes over and he's threatening them, but then he's like, but I took a pact of non-violence. Instead, meet my crew. And we just see these 3 dudes who I think are just other members of Batman Incorporated, but I genuinely don't know them. And then the big guys walk away, and then his crew walks away. So they're not really a part of it. But regardless, he starts talking to the singer and saying oh, hey, would you happen to know anything about Leviathan? And she's like, oh yeah, kind of, sort of. They've got some stuff going on, and I offered to work for them if they paid me in drugs. And he's like, oh, you're a druggie. And he's like, no, drugs for my disabled sister who desperately needs them to stay alive. And he's like, oh, okay, I can get on board with that. But as they're talking, Batman shows up behind Matches and threatens Matches, saying hey, stay out of my streets or else I'll be coming for you. And then it's revealed on the next page that Batman was actually Dick Grayson, who was just going off the cue that Bruce was giving him. So anyway, they're back in the Batcave, Dick, Bruce, and Damian. Damian is grounded still because everybody thinks he's dead. And they're looking over the web of what all has been going on in Batman Incorporated before the New 52. Gotta tell ya, I don't know most of it. But regardless, it's a big web. And apparently it's no, and we're at the center of this. This is all about us somehow. So Damian still wants to go out, still wants to do his thing as Robin. He's like, oh, you need me, Father, to protect you. And it's like, no, actually, I need to protect you. And also, it's really good to not have you around your mom right now because she's kind of crazy. So he gets dressed back up as Matches, and he heads out, this time to go talk to Goat Boy, the guy who supposedly shot Damian. And he's just basically asking, look, do you know where they took you to give you the money? And he's like, yeah, they blindfolded me, but I know every street of this city. I know exactly where it is, and I'll tell you where. But just to be forewarned, they've got a big hulking brute of a guy, and he killed someone in front of me. So be aware of that, Matches. And then apparently the singer at the bar has been replaced. It's a different woman there, and Matches takes note of that. So Matches hops in a taxi cab. Alfred's the one driving, and they make their way to the location that Goat Boy's telling them about. But before they can get there, the singer from before calls Matches and says, hey, I showed up to this gig, but it wasn't a gig. It's something terrible, and Matches, you gotta help me. And so Bruce is like, okay, well, this takes priority. So they make their way over to the place where she gave as an address, and Matches knocks on the door. And as soon as he gets in, he's attacked by the two goons from the stage before and has a bag put over his head. And he wakes up, and there's this whole sacrificial scene. Small Fry has been hanged. Goat Boy's like, oh, you think I was just gonna let you go? Like, they were gonna kill me if I didn't give them someone else, so now you're the sacrifice. And there's a guy named Jack Ketch who's a hangman, and there's a weird judge-looking guy. Genuinely not sure what's going on here, but it looks like Matches is gonna be killed for some reason. Anyway, cut over to Alfred coming back to the Batcave, telling Damien's like, hey, we're needed on ground patrol, just in the car, not you as Robin. But as he walks into the room where Robin is working on his bike, he's immediately hit by knockout gas. And Damien's like, I'm so sorry about that, Alfred, but Robin is grounded, but not Redbird. That's right, Damien is now Redbird. What's the difference? The outfit. That's it. That's literally the only difference. So Damien makes his way to the building where they said Batman would be going. He knocks out a whole bunch of guards and starts beating them up. And before he can get too far, an alarm goes off. And the dogs are sicked on him. And he's like, all right, bring it. So now it's Redbird versus some dogs. And Matches, a.k.a. Bruce, a.k.a. Batman, is captured. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's just forwarding the plot. It doesn't feel like that monumental of an issue. It definitely just feels like we're getting the information from everybody and we're just setting the pieces where they need to go. Damien is Redbird. I don't really recall that being a thing, so I don't think it's going to stick around that much. But hey, he has another identity, so that's something. Art-wise, it's good. I mean, Chris Burnham has a very distinct style. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. I think here it hits mostly. Not really any flaws that much in it. Yeah, besides that, it's a fine issue. Not standout great, not awful. I don't know why it was delayed for so long, because I think that was a whole month delay from the last issue. So, hey, it's perfectly serviceable. It's fine. So overall, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7. It's okay. It's not bad in any way, but it is definitely just another issue of Batman Incorporated.